Good evening, parents. Good evening, scholars. Good evening, teachers. This is Principal Calloway, and I want to welcome you to our Title I night as well as our curriculum night. For all those who are joining us over the web, we want to make sure that you get the information that's necessary. And tonight you will learn more about our school, Title I, as well as the curriculum and resources we use to ensure that your scholar gets an excellent education. At this time, let's go into the slide deck. As I stated before, this is our Title I annual meeting for parents and families. Why are we here? Sorry, I had to adjust the mic. Why are we here? The Elementary and Secondary Education Act, as amended by the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015, requires that each Title I school holds an annual meeting for parents, families, community members for the purpose of informing you of your school's participation in Title I services, explaining the requirements of Title I, and explaining your rights as a parent to be engaged in your child's education. As you can see, the overview, I'm not going to read all these to you. You can see them on your screen. But one of the things that we will talk about, what is a Title I school and what it means to be a Title I school. We have a set aside for parent and family engagement. We will show you how to get to our school improvement plan, complete the parent compact. And because we are spending federal money, Title I is a federal program, you can request a qualification of your child's teacher. How parents will be notified if my child is taught by a teacher who is not deemed to be qualified are licensed in the state of North Carolina. What is a Title I school? Title I is the largest federally funded educational program. A Title I school is a school receiving federal funds for their scholars. The basic principle of a Title I school is that large concentrations of low-income scholars receive supplemental funds to meet scholars' educational goals. Being a Title I school means receiving federal funds, which would be our Title I dollars, to supplement. So we receive everything that every other CMS school receives in regards to curriculum, but we receive federal funds to supplement the school's existing programs. These dollars are used for the following: identifying students experience academic difficulties and providing timely assistance to help scholars meet the state's challenging content standards, purchasing supplemental staff. This is how we pay for our BMTs, programs, materials, supplies, conducting parent and family engagement meetings, training activities, and recruiting and retaining highly qualified teachers. Being a Title I school also means encouraging ongoing parent and family engagement and advocating for parents' rights. In our school, as I stated, we purchase a BMT to help our scholars who are in need of social emotional support to make sure that they are able to receive a high quality education. We buy additional teacher assistants. We have purchased Promethean boards and smart boards. We also buy extra STEM equipment because we are a STEM school and we want our scholars to have hands-on activities and access to the best technology available. As well, we buy supplies and materials, books and technology. We use iReady and iExcel to enhance the educational opportunities provided for our scholars through computer-aided instruction. So what is a 1% set aside and how are parents involved? Any LEA or school district with a Title I allocation exceeding $500,000 is required by law to set aside 1% of the Title I allocation for parent and family engagement. Of that 1%, 10% may be reserved to the LEA, which will be the district, for system-wide initiatives related to parent and family engagement. The remaining 90% must be allocated to all Title I schools in the district. In CMS, each Title I school receives its portion of the 90% to implement school-level parent and family engagement activities and events. One of those events that we do here historically has been to ensure that our scholars have quality reading materials in their hands. So we do our trunk or treat where we hand out books. We have parent education nights that are done by the grade level. And we also have science nights. Title I parents have the right to provide input into decisions regarding how the money is spent. This process is completed through the school improvement team. So parent and family engagement allocation, as I said, our STEM nights, our curriculum make and takes. We do college tours. We have purchased rocket books for our scholars, the communication folders, our trunk or treat, reading festival that we do in October, as well as book bingo. Our district, CMS, has a parent and family engagement policy, and the policy is as such. It will address how the district or the LEA will implement the parent and family engagement requirements at every student. It includes the following: the district's expectation for parents, how CMS will engage parents in decision-making, how the district will work to build the schools and parents' capacities, and implementation of effective parent and family engagement activities to improve student academic achievement. We have a school compact as well as an instructional focus that shows you the expectations of the teachers, parents, and scholars. Our school improvement plan, our NC EdStar plan, it's a comprehensive needs assessment. It contains goals and strategies to address academic needs of scholars, professional development needs, coordination of resources, and a comprehensive budget. The school's parent and family engagement goals. Parents of students at Title I schools have the right to be engaged in the development of this plan. If you want to peruse the plan, you can go to www.endostar.org. You can log in using the password and log in. I'm going to give everyone a second to copy that. So your login is guest, capital S 6829, and password is guest, capital S 6829. What is included in the school's parent and family engagement policy? How parents can be engaged in decision-making activities, how parents and family engagement funds are being used, how information and training will be provided to parents, how the school will build capacity in parents and staff for strong parent and family engagement. Parents of students at the Title I schools have the right to be engaged in development of the school's parent and family engagement policy. What is a school compact? Well, our compact is a commitment from the school, the parent, family, and the student to share in the responsibility for improved academic achievement. Parents and families of students in Title I schools have the right to be involved in the revision and review of the school compact. As I stated earlier, it is very important that the compact is something that is real to everyone who attends our school, because we want all our scholars to do better. We want all our scholars to maximize their academic potential and as well as their talents. And in order for that to come to fruition, we have to make sure that we are operating as one unit, meaning that the school, parents, the community are all here to support our scholars. And the expectation is that we are preparing our scholars to be college and career ready. So please make sure when you review the compact and sign it later on tonight that you go over it with your scholars, put it up on your refrigerator, And as well, make sure that you review our instructional focus and ensure that your scholars are meeting the expectations, as well as hold us accountable if you feel that we are not doing our due diligence and meeting the expectations of our instructional focus and school compact. Parent leaders at the school. Please visit our school website for a list of our SLT members with their email addresses. Our school Title I compliance coordinator is Ms. Ryan Welch, and you see her email, ryancwelch@cms.k12.nc.us. If you have any questions, if you want to be involved, whether you want to be an active member in our SIT or you just want to volunteer, please reach out to Ms. Welch or Mr. Posey in the main office to get direction so that you can complete the Volunteer Act, compliance paperwork that's needed by CMS, as well as look for opportunities. We have some great things that we're planning, and I'm excited to have our parents support us as we increase our aquaponics lab. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So how can you volunteer to assist scholars with school needs? As we said, join the school improvement team. You can volunteer. Please call 980-343-6940 to learn about volunteer opportunities. And I let the cat out the bag, so I'm just going to go ahead and share it. If you have been in our cafeteria, you have seen our aquaponics system. We have a closed loop aquaponics system where we have fish, and from the fish, their waste is recycled so that it is turned into the necessary nutrients to grow different type of plants. So we have lettuce, we have chives, we have wheatgrass growing in there sometimes, we have spinach. We cycle that out, and what we do is we have in the past taken that throughout the building for scholars to taste different types of fresh fruits and vegetables. And we have also donated our produce to a fresh produce food bank called The Bowl. This year we're looking to expand that by having an aquaponics lab, which will contain more fish and more opportunities to grow fresh fruits and vegetables. And we would like volunteers to help us with the upkeep of that, as well as helping us to provide opportunities for parents to be part of a co-op where you can help us work in these labs, and then also when it's time to harvest, we would share the food with you. So that is one of the things that we have forthcoming. The lab is still under construction, but we are getting close. So we will be looking for volunteers for that. And if you're interested, please call 980-343-6940. How can you request the qualifications of your child's teacher? Title I parents and families have the right to request a qualification of their child's teacher. You are notified because we have to send letters out if we have any teachers that are not qualified to teach in the subject area that they are teaching. Our highly qualified report is sent to myself, and we make the letters to notify you if you have teachers that do not meet the ESOL's requirement for highly qualified teachers, as I stated earlier. Parents may request information on teacher qualifications in writing as well. Complaint procedure. CMS has an Office of the Ombudsman. The Office of the Ombudsman has a complaint procedure. The complaint procedure can be found on the CMS website, www.cms.k12.nc.us. The North Carolina Standard Course of Study. The full North Carolina Standard Course of Study can be viewed by clicking on the link, and that is www.dpi.state.nc.us/curriculum. For more information about the North Carolina Standard Course of Study and professional development, please visit our school's webpage. the ESA Act requires each state to have a plan to measure students' achievement annually. The plan outlines how each state is being held accountable. Title I schools can receive an additional designation based on the end of grade or end of course assessments. And there's a link that you can see that. It's the www.ncpublicschools.org/succeeds. Additional school designation, target support and improvement, which is TSI, comprehensive support and improvement is CSI, and schools with these designations remain in the status for 3 years. Our school is designated as a TSI, meaning that we have to put together a plan to reach subgroups that have not made significant growth or reach proficiency on EOG testing. North Carolina Every Student Succeeds Act state plan identifies schools for target support and improvement when schools have student subgroups that are underperforming. Our school does have this designation. We are working to address the learning needs of all our scholars. We have hired extra support in the MTSS process. We have reinstituted our WIN period, which is based off our SFA program that we utilize to help move us from an F school to a D and got us pretty close to a C. So there's a reading program that we use for all scholars, and the expectation is that every scholar should be reading for a half hour every single night. If you're in K2, we expect those scholars to read for 15 minutes. And then the next 15 minutes, we ask that the parent read to their child and discuss the book and ask questions and make sure that their child is comprehending what they're reading. We also will be sending books home for these scholars. And for our 3rd through 8th graders, we have the expectation of a half hour. And parents, a half hour is the minimum. If your child is further behind, they're going to need more time. So that means a half hour may not be enough, but we expect every scholar in the building to read for a half hour and then complete our read, reflect, respond. So every night your child has homework from us. The principal says you need to do your read, reflect, respond. And scholars that complete their read, reflect, responds, we have the opportunity for them to win some cool prizes through a drawing that takes place because they get turned into the bucket of love. And then on Monday morning and sometimes on Friday, I select students who have completed the work to come up to the prize closet and win a cool prize. Proud points. So what are we doing here? As you can see, and as I have told you, we still have some work to do, and we have a long way to go to reach our goals. However, in the process, we are way better than we have been in the past. One of the things that we want to brag about is our high school credits. Your babies have the opportunity to leave here with 4 high school credits if they are doing what's necessary academically. We have Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and then we have Math 1 and Math 2. And those are classes that count for high school credit, and we're pushing our scholars to be able to be successful. One of the ways that we are helping all our scholars have the opportunity to get high school credits while they're here is we start when they are in elementary. We have a Spanish teacher who teaches specials to all our scholars. From K-8, our scholars have the opportunity to prepare for their Spanish electives that they can select in 7th and 8th grade. And we feel that by exposing our scholars to a foreign language and have that go for years, they will be prepared and hopefully be ready to take Spanish 1 or Spanish 2 when they are in 7th or 8th grade, thus leaving with high school credits. As I mentioned earlier, we also have our aquaponics lab, and trying to start a co-op is something that we're proud of. We're proud of the work that our scholars are doing, and we look forward to improving what we're doing and helping your scholars be prepared for the real world. And as a STEM school, Our STEM teacher is doing a great job pushing in the classrooms, but more importantly, we have more kids signed up for Project Lead the Way in our engineering courses. We're exposing our elementary scholars to various engineering programs, whether it is computer science or the building of bridges. And we also focus on epidemiology. Our middle school scholars are having a semester course of epidemiology, which is fitting at this time as we're battling a pandemic. And of course, ecology. We have various opportunities for our scholars to engage and learn about the effect of human beings in our environment and what we can do to make sure that we have resources for everyone as the years progress. I want to thank you for being here. If there are any questions, please add your questions in the link below or email your child's teacher. This presentation can be viewed on our school website or your child's teacher's class dojo. If you could do us a favor before you leave, if you could scan the QR code or go to the address below so that we could see how many people have participated. I am getting a couple questions text to me from my ILT staff who said some parents put a couple things in the chat. Give me 1 second to read this. Okay. So one of the questions that came up was a clarification about Title I schools. Being a Title I school doesn't mean that we're poor or that we lack resources. In actuality, our school has a lot more resources than many of the schools in CMS. We've been able to use our Title I funds and our Restart money to purchase the technology that is necessary to help our scholars learn. And if you were to ever take a tour of the building, you will see all the technology that we utilize and as well as the resources that are available to our scholars. So no, being a Title I school doesn't mean that you're poor. It means that we have a influx of scholars that don't meet the qualifications in regards to income. So some of our, we have a high percentage of poverty, but that doesn't mean that we are a poor school. So we definitely have a lot of resources, and when things clear up and we are able to have more people in the building, you could take a tour and see, because I don't think there's anything that our scholars need that we don't have. And I try to take care of the needs of our teachers as well, and most of their wants. So we definitely have a lot of technology and we have a lot of resources. That's a good question. All right. The next question deals with the rating and the public ratings. You're absolutely right. The ratings of our school aren't where we want to be. We would love to be a school, but right now we're not there. However, if you look at the growth, and that rating score that has typically come out in the past is made up of proficiency and growth. And I'll break that down for you real quick. So proficiency means that your scholars are scoring 3, 4s, or 5s on the EOGs, okay? Your growth means that you take a scholar from where they enter your building at and help them grow to reach the grade level goal and put them on a course towards proficiency. You will see that every year we exceed growth, meaning that our teachers are doing a good job taking our kids from where they are to where they need to be. And we haven't crossed that threshold of proficiency yet that has allowed us to get a higher score. But I think we are on the verge of that, and we are working towards that, because right now, as the state has had it set up, it's a 60-40. You get 60% of your overall grade is based on proficiency, where 40% is only based on your growth. And so with that, we all have different and varying opinions about whether that's fair or not, because I think it should be more like a 50-50. Our kids are making growth, but we don't get credited for that. and we don't scrutinize who comes in the building. If a baby shows up at the door, we're going to educate them, whether they are high or low. But one thing you can be assured of is this: no matter where your child comes into us at, we're going to make sure that they grow. Very good question. And that looks like that's the end of questions. I want to thank you. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and please ask the same quality questions to the teachers as you're going over the curriculum. And remember, we need your help ensuring that your child gets a quality education. Make sure that they're reading every single night. Make sure you're in communication with the teachers, and make sure that your scholars are doing their work. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.